An old acquaintance, the Mercedes CLS, but it's not quite the same. This is the new revised version of the coupe sedan. We tested the CLS 220 with the smallest available engine, a 2.2-liter diesel. Our car tester Matas Kurat says that even the smallest engine still makes the CLS sporty. After all, it has 400 Newton-meters of torque, even at relatively low RPMs. More precisely at 1,400 RPMs. The 125-kilowatt four-cylinder diesel engine accelerates the elegant vehicle from 0 to 100 in 8.3 seconds. The top speed is 226 kilometers per hour. Matas notes that not only the CLS's diesel, but also its gasoline-powered engine is new. The 3.5-liter, six-cylinder engine in the CLS 400 is layered. By layered, he means the engine has two turbochargers that operate at different engine speeds. That gives the CLS 400 245 kilowatts of power with consumption at 7.5 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. Not bad for a gasoline engine in this performance class. But the engines aren't all that has been revised. The automatic transmissions have been updated as well. Matas recalls when automatic transmissions had 3 gears, then 4th and 5th gears were added, and then a 6th gear. Then a few years ago, 7-gear automatics appeared, and now in the CLS, Mercedes has installed a 9-geared transmission. One might think that the car is so busy shifting that it has little power left for propulsion, but that's not the case. The speed bands are just better utilized, which increases fuel efficiency, and Matas says he hardly notices the car shifting as he drives. Now for the design changes, which are mostly at the front. The most important change is the optional multi-beam LED headlights, which offer a broader and more even illumination of the road, and no glare to blind drivers coming the other way, and that means greater safety. The grille and front bumpers have also been slightly reworked. The sideline is almost exactly the same. The sweeping fold over the rear fender is still a striking detail on the CLS. Little is new about the rear either. A glass sunroof is optional and makes the interior feel very roomy. Matas says Mercedes has completely changed the dashboard, integrating a freestanding monitor in it. Our car tester preferred the earlier built-in recessed monitor, but concedes that tastes differ. And the new version does have the advantage that later larger monitors could be installed without altering the whole dashboard.
Und das hier hat auf jeden Fall den Vorteil, dass man später größere Bildschirme nehmen kann, ohne das komplette Armaturenbrett zu verändern.
Unchanged is the good legibility of the instrument cluster, with a display in the middle of the speedometer. And what more could one want in interior craftsmanship? The 4 bucket seats have the right amount of firmness, and their lateral support gives passengers a feeling of security. All in all, it's a harmonious whole with a price starting at 54,000 euros, so it's not bargain basement. But for a design-oriented buyer, it's certainly an alternative to the E-Class or even the larger S-Class. To car tester Matas, Mercedes' talk of a new generation seems exaggerated. The exterior design has hardly changed, just a little in the headlights and radiator grille. The interior has a new dashboard, and there are new engines and transmissions. But then, why should Mercedes drastically change a winning team? 120,000 units of the CLS has been sold since 2010.
120.000 Mal verkauft wurde, extrem überarbeiten. Macht ja keinen Sinn.
Just drive your car into the parking garage at Düsseldorf Airport, and you might think you'd entered a set of Star Trek. But these luminous panels are not science fiction. They're already science fact. Passengers can just leave their car and head for the terminal. It's valet parking, courtesy of Ray the robot. Leopold Meyer of Serva Transport Systems explains that this system is easily installed in parking garages without elaborate additions. His company has developed a robot, a driverless transport system that picks up the cars and moves them on the ground without special installation. Thanks to the slim construction of the robot, the cars can be parked closer together, using the garage space up to 60% more efficiently. Ray can adjust to cars to practically any size, and with the help of a computer, find the optimal spot for every model. The system also functions as a network, where several parking robots work together to organize parking for large numbers of vehicles. They administer the parking spaces, putting some in long-term storage, or moving cars to the front when required. Meyer says the system works with almost any kind of car, with the exception of a few older American models that are too long. The system can currently handle 98% of cars. Any model that you would normally drive into a parking garage can be parked here. Airports are interested in investing in these futuristic garages because they offer great benefits to travelers. Airport head Thomas Schnalke explains that the idea is to address customers who want to park their cars quickly to make their trips as efficient as possible. Because the garage is so close to the terminal, passengers are just steps away from the check-in area and their flights. 6 of the robotic parking spaces are currently available for passengers, and they've aroused lots of interest. This man says he'd gladly use the system if it makes economic sense. The parking robot only adds 50 cents to the normal daily parking rate of 29 euros. Ray maneuvers around the deck with high precision with the help of a measuring laser and reflectors placed strategically on the walls. The flight database tells the robot which vehicle to bring out next. Based on the scheduled time of arrival or a message from a smartphone, Ray has the car ready for its owner right on time. The Mini Countryman has had a facelift. In addition to certain visual modifications, its range of engines has also been revamped. 4 gasoline and 3 diesel engines offer power between 72 and 160 kilowatts. Skid plate elements for the front and back are now standard equipment in the all-wheel models. In Germany, prices for the Countryman start at 20,400 euros. With its 108 model, Peugeot has now moved into the city car segment. 6 design themes and 3 color combinations allow lots of leeway for customization. Buyers can choose between 2 efficient 3-cylinder engines with 51 and 60 kilowatts. The price for this little Peugeot starts at 8,890 euros in Germany. Sascha Knapp is testing the new Skoda Octavia station wagon today near Hamburg. The Scout version may not look new, but it is. Sascha says we can see he's already test-driven it, and he's pretty satisfied. Skoda's Octavia Scout station wagon will go on the European market in late August. It isn't just out to impress, like some cars that look like off-road vehicles. The Scout has off-road technology and design. Sascha says the new Haldex 5 coupling distributes power to all 4 of the Scout's wheels as needed. The Haldex 5 traction system makes the Octavia Scout outstanding when off-road. Power is always distributed optimally among all the wheels, so that the Scout can climb steep slopes, even if they are not paved. The Scout can also handle steep downhill rides. Sasha says the car has no special support going downhill, so the driver has to do the braking himself. But at least in this case, that's no problem. Above the headlights, the body hasn't changed. A Skoda earns the Scout emblem with its off-road capabilities. Under the headlights and taillights, the transition to the bumpers has been made even more angular. The wheel rims fit that pattern too. Sasha says the biggest differences between the normal station wagon version of the Octavia and the Scout version are the large air intakes in front and a skid plate. The rear also has a skid plate. On top of that, says Sasha, the Scout can pull up to 2 tons, for example, a horse trailer. This towing power is great for vacations too. We tested the Scout with the most powerful diesel engine, one that puts out 135 kilowatts. Thanks to its direct shift gearbox, the Scout sprints from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 7.8 seconds. The largest diesel consumes exactly as much fuel as the smallest, 5.1 liters per 100 kilometers. Skoda is working to reduce fuel consumption in all its engines. A car tester says the new version has optimized fuel consumption by up to 20% by means of brake energy recuperation and the automatic start-stop function. The check machine drives through small patches of water in stride. The underbody is completely shielded, protecting the machinery from stones and branches. The brakes have additional protection too. The Scout has 33 millimeters more clearance than the standard Octavia station wagon does, easing travel on rocky roads and steep inclines. The interior is typical Octavia and well crafted. The Scout's logo is found in various spots. The Scout combines a number of good characteristics: generous space, more safety on the road, off-road capabilities, and very good towing power. And yet, its needs at the fuel pump are modest. And at 32,650 euros in Germany, with the most powerful engine, it's reasonably priced. There's a saying that the cleaner a car looks after off-road duty, the better it was. Our test car is pretty mud-splattered. Our car tester had a great time plowing through the countryside with the Skoda Octavia Scout station wagon. So he recommends it for anyone who wants a vehicle that can really go off-road. For decades, the classic VW bus, lovingly known as the Bully in Germany, has been an icon of 1960s flower power, life on the road, and freedom. 405 VW buses of all generations, from the T1 to the T5, have converged on the Baltic Sea island of Fehmarn for the Midsummer Bully Festival. The beach party lasts for 4 days. The fun of it is simply getting together with people and driving around. This is a piece of German culture. It's part of my life. I drive it to go surfing, and at these meets, you see people you know. It's a little community. A vacation with friends and family. You sit together and chill out, talk about VW buses. We talk shop. Whether you're driving an original or one that's been modified, it's just fun to be with all these people. Hardly any other van of its class is as versatile. It can be individually customized for traveling, hobbies, or leisure activities. A custom-built extended rear for extra cargo space. Or it can be converted into a pickup. We've converted the vehicle to be utilitarian, but also usable as a leisure time car. I've customized them professionally for 27 years, so I made a career of my hobby, and now I've made a hobby of my career again. Now it's back to just being my hobby. A highlight of the festival is the parade. The participants form a convoy and drive over to the mainland and through the villages along the coast. Wherever they go, people are excited to see them. It's all about seeing and being seen. People are happy to see you, and they wave with big grins on their faces. I don't think any other car makes for such thrilled and happy faces, and that's somehow satisfying. You put so much effort, money, and love into it, and then when you get responses like this, when you get all these smiles and thumbs up, it's beautiful. It's one big celebration of the VW bus and its fans. But not everyone here has been bitten by the VW bug. Some are here with other makes. We've converted our Mercedes Sprinter into a camper van. We're looking for ideas for small cars. Our Sprinter is fairly small because we travel to Norway a lot, so we're here to gather ideas. And there's no shortage of inspiration and ideas all around. Some of the buses have undertaken a long journey back to their German roots. This is a 1995 Mexican-built T2C. It was built in Mexico until 1995. Then production went to Brazil. You can fall in love with a piece like this. You have to put something into it. It's been restored twice, but it's a true friend, a member of the family. When taken care of, VW buses just seem to keep going and going and going. As a member of the family, the VW bus needs its tender, loving care. This is where the girls from the car wash come in. They clean, wax, and polish the paint till it shines. Just look at this darling, it's magnificent. While some keep scrubbing, others kick back in their bus's own mobile cafe. The bus was going to be cannibalized, but it was still in good condition, and we thought we ought to do something with it. We had to give some thought to what we wanted to do. In Germany, the vehicle inspectors have to approve all vehicle modifications. The inspectors folded everything out and folded it all back in again and made sure it wasn't too wide. We're not allowed to drive on public roads like this, but once everything is stowed away, it's classified as a load, and that makes it street legal. Like a typical VW bus fan, they bring their own folding sofa to the party. There's still enough for other parties on other beaches. Today, Christoph Bauer is going to show us a luxury convertible from the 1930s. Introducing the Horch 930V. When it came out in 1937, the German auto industry was in a serious crisis. In 1937, the economic situation in Germany was anything but rosy, says our car tester. With the government gearing up for war, the scarce resources available all went towards building up the military. The economy was bled dry. So basically, it was a really unfavorable time to launch a luxury car like the Horch 930V. 8 cylinders, almost 5 meters long, and weighing in at almost 2 tons. The Horch 930V boasted impressive stats. And it cost a pretty penny, too. This four-window convertible, as it was called, had a price of 10,100 Reichsmarks. An Opel Kapitän convertible cost just 4,300 Reichsmarks, less than half. But the Horch still managed to sell pretty well. Over 2,000 units were made through 1940, and most of them were the convertible variety. Horch had a tradition in luxury car making. The company was founded by engineer August Horch in 1899. In 1909, the founder left due to internal wranglings. He set up a new firm. Horch's surname means listen in German, which in Latin translates as Audi. In 1932, Horch and Audi joined with two other makes to become Auto Union. But the Horch brand retained its superior status. Strictly speaking, the 930V is a kind of Horch for beginners. Under the long hood was a successor to the first German V8 engine, built in 1933. Repeated increases in displacement from 3 to 3.8 liters gave the engine a very respectable performance. The Horch was originally conceived of as a classic chauffeur-driven sedan, explains Christoph, but a lot of them like this one were made with a short wheelbase, which makes sense if the owner is driving himself. At the front, you had a wonderful V8 engine with a 3.8-liter capacity and 92 horsepower, and it's still a cool cruiser today. In 1938, over 20% of new car registrations in Germany in the 3 to 4-liter displacement class were Horches. The brand was market leader in the luxury class. Its big rival in the 1930s was Mercedes, but they were in a different category in terms of both horsepower and price. Horch was loved for the understated elegance. No frills, no gimmicks, just solid and unobtrusive. In this case, with a body from convertible specialist Glaser. As for the workmanship, it is beyond reproach.
Und was die Verarbeitungsqualität angeht, ja, da ist er natürlich über jeden Zweifel erhaben. Hier feinstes Leder, feinstes
Lush leather, sumptuous wood trim, and a roof that is easy to operate, plus it's waterproof, something you couldn't take for granted back then. The radiator grille bears the 4 rings of Auto Union, now Audi's logo, of course. But as if to underline Horch's special status, the makers covered the cars with their logo, a crowned letter H. 2-door or 4-door, 4 or 6 seats, with or without a roof. There was a wide range of versions to choose from. If you were willing to pay enough, you could basically get what you wanted. Pop the hood, and you'll find a robust V8 engine with a 3.8-liter displacement. One strength of the engine is high elasticity. It's not keen on high rev levels, but the 8-cylinder unit does kick in really strong as soon as you put your foot on the gas. A Horch, says Christoph, is pure luxury. You float over the road carefree. The suspension is incredibly comfortable, and if you want to pick up the pace, and the first Autobahns had already been built by then, this little knob engages 5th gear, taking you to 130 kilometers an hour. Wow. But those drivers putting the Horch through its paces could expect to pay the price at the pump. This baby chugs down an average of 19 liters for every 100 kilometers. A far more aerodynamic successor was planned, but World War II precluded its production. The Horch 930V is a fantastic car, says Christoph, with one major problem. It came out at the wrong time. In 1938, only a very limited elite could afford this car. But it still sold relatively well, and the Horch 930V was its era's most successful German V8 luxury car. It definitely deserves a place in this pantheon of automotive classics. These days, by the way, such a convertible in good condition will set you back around 160,000 euros.